Look at this man, John Lone, at ease in this chair when just a little while ago we saw you likewise at your ease in a very different kind of chair. A throne. You told me there's a story about sitting on that throne in the Forbidden City.
In China, they told me that when ordinary people sit on the throne, they get dizzy.
And so we all want to know now how you felt when you sat on it.
Oh, no. I felt very at ease and actually gave me a boost of my character.
Whoopee cushions on the throne of the Forbidden City. I don't know. This area, though, is completely accessible now to tourists, isn't it?
Not completely. The session is still closed off. What was extraordinary that the Chinese government first time allowed us to shoot in places that they were not even open to the public. So it was quite exciting.
You played the emperor from the age of 18 until near his death. What were the special makeup considerations when you were either very young or very old?
Well, I have a short period of time where I have to have the Qing style of haircut, where it's shaved from about half across the head and the pigtail.
There's no way you can do that as a wig.
Well, I did that. I have to because I would rather shave, of course, but I couldn't because the next week I need my hair for the next scene. So for the very young and the very old, I need makeup, and then in the middle, I want no makeup. Practically.
I believe that you would be willing to do that because you grew up under a kind of discipline as an actor that few of us maybe even understand. Western actors, could they go through the kind of regimen that you went through with the Peking opera system?
I know there's no equivalent for training as a total kind of theater in the West. I don't think so. In terms of, it consists of physical training in acrobatic martial arts and juggling and miming and then singing and dancing and movement, which is separate from dancing. It's a gesture to indicate drama and comedy, and it's such a total concept of theater. I don't know any other equivalent. Maybe the kabuki in Japan is the closest.
Well, I'm wondering about the Polish film school in the late 60s. That had a strict reputation for an all-round education like that, too.
I am not familiar with that. Yeah.
We think, I guess, that Peking opera means that it's set in Peking, or now Beijing. I guess that's not the case.
It originated as a court entertainment in Beijing. That's why it's called a Peking opera. Mm-hmm. But Peking opera, the company I was with was in Hong Kong. They also have different company, like different branch of people in Taiwan, Singapore, and China, of course.
Is this a place only for privileged young people who want to become actors?
No, this is a place for underprivileged, no family, and kids. It's not for... See, before TV and film, actors are being considered the lowest class of people. And so until TV and film came, and then they glamorized it. Mm-hmm. So royalty now wants to be actors too. But at that time, I have 50 children and myself living together, training together, performing together. Most of them all have no homes or underprivileged. That means they couldn't go to do anything else in life in terms of school, which you have to pay for in Hong Kong, unlike our good old America system where you could go to school with very little money. So I couldn't go to school anyway because I didn't have a family to help me through all these things. So I went to the Peking Opera.
John, without that opportunity, what might have become of you?
Oh, I might be a tycoon somewhere.
Oh, I saw. Building towers.
Yeah, building towers.
Different kinds of thrones.
Yeah. Making cheap thrill for the public.
What kinds of American films did you watch while you were growing up over there?
I saw so many films that I don't even know what I saw because I couldn't speak English, but yet I wasn't educated that well in Chinese either, so the subtitle didn't help me much. And so I just had a lot of great moments in the dark in the cinema that I noticed that one moment from an actor or one scene that particularly grabs me, or the music. So I have all these fragmented moments that I remember, but very little about what film was it, who did it, and who is this person, and so forth.
What about images of the United States generally that maybe proved to be so illusory? You know, when you finally came here, that were just, you had to change your thinking completely from what you'd seen.
Yeah, I was very curious. That's why I came to begin with. And then little by little, I get more comfortable. I grow to like it. That's why I stay on. And it's exciting for me. I never look at it as some kind of struggle because I was too interested. So the struggle becomes pleasurable in a way. It's like I'm learning. I'm exposing to all this big world that I know nothing about. All I knew was picking opera. That's why I never even grew up in Hong Kong. It's embarrassing. Some friends will ask me, well, I'm going to Hong Kong. What should I do? I say, I have no idea. Because I grew up in this theater all my life. And before 10 years old, I couldn't do anything. So now I go to Hong Kong, just like, I'm exploring and I'm discovering Hong Kong. Yeah.
You know what also is interesting is that through your work now in The Last Emperor, there may be millions of Chinese watching a part of their own history they have not been aware of. I understand imperial history until recently was not a part of their education.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because since I never went to school, but I could think that's quite correct. Yeah.
John Lone, what are you all about? We've seen you in so many different kinds of roles now. We're in the middle of the Iceman and the villain in Year of the Dragon and now the Emperor here. Where are you amidst all of that?
I'm trying to find out myself. I mean that.
Do these roles help you in that search, or maybe just fragment it even more?
No, my work has become more and more affecting my real life and affecting me overall as a human being in terms of through the process of discovering my character and going through the motion of creating the life that I have to create on screen or on stage. Even though it's a make-believe of reality, but the process I go through, it's a real process in terms of which I try to anyway. And sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, and you said it gives you a chance to do things that in real life you never could do.
Exactly. I mean, I could never. I mean, every people, like all of us on Earth, that we all have a limited exposure and experience. We could not possibly jumping around all over the places because we've got to be consistent with our family, with our friends, with our jobs, in order to just build up something. That's why I do consider it a privilege that I was allowed to get paid for my work to vicariously live and experience life, as a profession.
I think that's as good a definition of the lure of acting as I've ever heard.
Yeah, but this is not something for everybody, I think. For me, I like it, and I grow to love it, because the discovery, the process I go through, expanding myself, picking myself apart and face truth or about myself, and so therefore I felt like it's like like a flowers, and you just keep growing until you have to stop.
I like it. John Lone, whether he's sitting on a throne or in that humble chair, he's sitting pretty easily. We're together in New York City talking about The Last Emperor. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5.